So if you're going to encapsulate, you can kind of define each year group, can't you? So what word would you use to describe this year?
Well, I suppose the question really is about how we remember this year group, isn't it? Our particular fond memories of them.
I thought they're fun.
Yeah.
I've really enjoyed them socially as a group. They're really fun to talk to.
True.
And I've enjoyed the classes as well.
Yeah.
The real spirit of inquiry and enjoyment at the humour in classes as well.
Fun, but intellectually weighty.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
You have to say that.
Yes.
It was 8.
Well, I've had a successful year teaching this group. I think they've been one of the best, haven't they? They've been talkative, lively, usually turn up to seminars, not always around essay time maybe. But
Fantastic group this year. I say that every year, actually, but it was particularly true this year.
Yeah.
so you can talk about the ball and
Which gobbles?
giving them gobbles, giving them the message about gobbles.
Yeah, right. Forgot about gobbles. Yeah. Not having to do the university challenge was a massive relief.
So my best memory probably has to be the University Challenge event, where I had to put on my Jeremy Paxman face for the day, and fortunately it ended really well with the University of Bristol team coming out triumphantly against UWE. All round great event.
When I, in the well-attended lunchtime lecture, predicted Donald Trump's and the Republican Party's demise.
Specific memories of students or classes do I have? Well, for me that's quite hard because I mostly teach
Misery.
Pain and misery, exactly. I did a tarot card reading with my third year special group in the pub, and I'm pretty sure it said that one of them was pregnant, which wouldn't have been as funny, but it was a man. But we didn't, in that class we were going to hypnotise someone. And I'm really sorry that we never did that, but I just thought I might lose my job if we hypnotise someone in class.
I think we all would like to extend our thanks to you two for your patience and for seeing that not everything always runs smoothly, and but we are also fallible. So we definitely have to thank you for that.
Wars of the Roses, I apologise to whoever it was who wanted more Game of Thrones references.
I'm grateful that students endured my pessimistic view of history. My motto is everything is terrible for most of the people most of the time, and there were many of you who were happy to provide a counter-argument, so I'm very thankful for that.
There's one particular student actually that actually appeared, that I taught in their first year and that I also taught in third year, and that's Erin Beasley. And Beasley sticks out in my mind as a person who helped organise my life and all the seminars for me, and I'm very grateful for her for doing that.
I think I would just say, just remember what an amazing skill set you've got.
I think we gave you a good skill set to
Transferable skills.
The kind of skills you've been using in your degree are so useful. You know, we live in an information age. The big challenge for all of us is dealing with huge quantities of information, making sense of them, and then communicating an interesting and powerful story about them. And that's exactly what you've been doing over the course of your degree. So I think you've got a great toolkit.
Congratulations, I'm sure, to witches in our witchcraft group who managed to go undiscovered for the entire teaching block, even though they were doing everything that we asked them to do. I don't know, maybe if they're here tonight they might be a bit drunk and spill the beans, but I don't think it's told anyone yet. It's really nominate someone to be a witch.
Oh yeah, we get them to do witchy things. So at the start of the term we met with a student and we suggested to them that they might like to take on the role of being a witch. Then we had some trials at the end of the unit to see if they could discern who the witch was. Unfortunately, they weren't very good at being witch hunters, and they burned a lot of innocent people.
Oh, that's
Didn't
cool.
find the witch. It was a failure on that front. But I think the witch got a lot out of it and they enjoyed the job.
Richard, you seem to have done a lot of drinking with the students this year. Is that true?
Not that I've taught them about drinking. Certainly, right back in first year, I was teaching drink and disorder, and probably one of my favourite moments was drink and disorder class, where I brought some of my cider in, and we were using that as a teaching aid. Teaching aid. Yes.
Have you not been to all of the balls at that time? You went to a lot of summer balls.
I have been to a lot of balls. I think some of my memories of balls are probably better not recorded on camera. And I'm sure that we're all about to generate similar memories in the next couple of hours. Will, do you have any interesting memories of the Christmas ball in December?
I don't have any recollection of the ball that you refer to.
If anyone wants to know what Will Cooley did at the Christmas ball, come and ask me.
It's a story from the day after the Christmas ball last year. I was teaching my group on slavery in the modern world, and obviously everyone's feeling a little bit delicate. So I coined the phrase political hangover to explain one of the things we were talking about, which also kind of reflected our mental state.
Yeah.
And it was just because of the way we were feeling then. But then someone thought, oh, this is serious history, and it ended up getting cited in one of the exams.
Excellent.
When Richard Stone and Kenneth and John Reeks and I tried to go to a club on the Triangle, and the bouncers turned us away because we looked too old. Too old. They actually said that to us. In the morning, I think we all felt maybe that was a fair assessment. At the time of her.
Being a historian is something that you can take with you through life, and it's not a bad thing to be. So
yeah, it's that skill of being able to think critically, not just assume, and also the independence we really prize in our work as well. That ability to think for yourself.
Yeah. Well, that's very practical, actually.
Yeah.
I was actually just thinking of the more romantic engagement with the past, but yeah,
And also.
I think if I had to advise them of one thing, it would be never to forget that they're actually historians. They've been trained as historians, they've become historians in their own right. And I think as we're marking dissertations, it's becoming increasingly clear they're actually really good historians. And they should never forget that. In here, you need to remember that you are a historian, and that's what you've been trained to do. And historians can do anything they put their mind to.
Giving you words of wisdom on graduation is a bit tough for me because I've never thought of myself as wise, but I can give you some insight into your identity as Bristol history graduates, and that is the most precious gift you can take with you is to carry on being nice to each other, because what makes Bristol history students special is that they are as intelligent and as able as those in older and richer universities, but a lot nicer to each other, less competitive, less bitchy, more mutually supportive. And it's always worth remembering that the achievements you can make as a group, helping each other, are always much greater than those you can make individually.
if you want advice after graduation, I think the best advice that I'd give you is don't ask someone who spent their entire life staying in university after finish.
You start down there. You're actually quite wise.
Well, I was gonna make your wisdom.
No, I'm keeping mine. Like, let me be mine. You've got a better one.
I have two pieces of advice, if I can have two. The first is to do what you want to do with your life. So you will be expected to do certain things at certain times. That's the pressure that society puts upon us. But actually, we don't have to do these things in the ways that we're expected. We can break the mould and do things differently, and that's really important.
Try not to think too hard about history. Now the degree's over, you can siphon off that whole part of your life and go on to something else. What's your advice, Bill?
My advice is don't forget about history.
And the second thing is something that we perhaps forget to do sometimes. We should look out for each other, be kind to each other, and remember each other, and that we need each other's support in life. Friendship is really important.
My response to graduation was, right, what degree can I do next?
Well, the majority of society adheres to a view how we should live our life, how we should organize being with others, how we should live our sexuality. That doesn't necessarily mean that I have to adhere to that. I will be exposed to pressures if I'm outside the norm, but people have done so in the past and they found a way. So I think that is hopefully something we can instill in our students, and that helps you to deal with the world outside.
I like it here, I don't want to leave, so I'll hang around until they throw me out. So yeah, we're not the people to ask, are we?
Not really.
We must defy the structures designed to confine us.
Must we? Must
Yes.
we? Is
Yes,
that the
John.
lesson we really
Yes.
want our students to take away from us?
Yes,
That they must
John.
defy authority?
Yes, John.
Oh dear.
Be kind to each other. I think, yeah.
Be good. Be good people. Oh. Earn lots of money, then come back and do a PhD when you retire.
Or don't earn lots of money and be wonderful.
Yeah.